We back up in this bitch.
If they wanted to take it outside in the parking lot, the ex-wife and her homegirl would have been well within her right to put a little beat down on the mistress.
Oh my God, I just want to get on this mic and talk to my girl.
We still got some fucking ninjas out here that don't know no
Mm-hmm.
better.
How dare you? You think that it's appropriate to take a woman, a young woman who is still a minor, and put her in front of the congregation to apologize?
Him, he just a ninja. I mean, he was cheating from the door. She said it. He didn't give a shit about nobody but himself.
We might find out some shit tomorrow that we had no idea. So I'm just gonna sit and wait.
Listen, something don't smell right to me, but I'm going to mind my business. But I'm not, because I want to know what y'all think.
So stop acting like, oh, we're not taking handouts. Bitch, you are a handout. You taking our money.
Hey, welcome to Three Aunties and a Mic, the podcast about grown folks ish. I am your girl V with the T. I have with me Weekday with the everyday drama and Miss Bookworm with the read. Ladies, how y'all doing?
Hey,
Hey,
what's
what's
going
up? What's up?
on?
What's up?
Happy spring.
Yes. Happy New Year.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
it
am
came
so
there.
minus these these Georgia trees got my throat jacked up for like the second, third week in a row. I'm over it. But outside of that, I'm so happy it's spring.
Yes, Lord.
So what's up, Weekday? What you been up to?
Not much, child. Just life just be lifing. Just trying to stay, really just trying to stay under the radar. But it's real hard, and you're trying to not let people press your buttons. It gets harder
Mm-hmm.
each and every day. But between family, woo, my mom and them, they were crazy. The other night, they sent the cops for a welfare check. I'm like, what in the world? Because my mom
On
didn't
who?
bother to look at
You?
her
To
text.
you?
Yeah. And girl, the doorbell ain't.
Lord.
I didn't hear nothing. I was asleep. And then okay, so I'm gonna tell y'all the funniest thing is the dog. Well, anybody knows Max doesn't bark. He's not
No.
allowed to. He's got taught not to
Well,
bark.
we
I mean, literally,
No.
you don't hear him.
My
Oh, you
best
wouldn't
friend,
know.
she doesn't let her dog bark either.
Mm-mm,
Yeah. I ain't never seen nothing
So
like
he's
it.
not. Yeah,
yeah, you get them
he really
trained.
don't bark.
Mm-hmm.
So my mom, I got home late Saturday night because we went out. My uncle, my father's last living sibling. His birthday was his birthday's this week, but we were going to celebrate his 84th birthday, and it was a whole family, on my dad's side. So by the time I got home, it was late, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I had a video shoot scheduled for Sunday. Well, guess what? Guess when I start reading the information on the video shoot?
Sunday.
Saturday morning. So when I got home, I went to Jersey. I got home late. It was like a little after 8. I had talked to all of them. I talked to my mom. I talked to my sister. I told my sister I'm pulling in the driveway. She said I got somebody calling me. Boom. But after that, I didn't pick the phone back up again because I'm like scrambling. I'm printing off stuff. I'm making stickers, trying to figure out how I'm going to sign. Put up my backdrop. I'm doing all this stuff, right? So by the time I realized my mom had texted me, it was 1 o'clock in the morning. I was going to bed. So I just because she texted me, so I figured she don't went to sleep. Let me just text her back and say I'm home. Well, I guess she never looked at the text. They done sent the cops to my house around 6:30 or 6:40 on Sunday morning. And what happened was them damn birds woke me up at 7 o'clock. I had scheduled for 8, get me at least 7 hours
Oh,
of
don't
sleep.
talk about the
Them
birds.
birds are enough to get on your damn nerves, all that noise. So I jump up, and here come my mom pulling up in my driveway. I'm like, "What are you doing here?" I see all these text messages and all these phone calls. I'm like, "What is wrong with y'all?" "Oh, you never answered me back." I said, "Did you ever check your text?" She said, "I didn't check it until I got all the way near your door." You
Oh
done been
my
on that
goodness.
phone, but see, I'm gonna excuse my mom to a degree because she has a house phone, so she probably never went and
Mm.
picked up the
Oh
cell
yeah.
phone. And so I'm just like, she said, "Oh, your sister told me she was the one that called the cops for welfare check, called my neighbor who's out of town. I'm like, I knew she was out of town. Like, could you go down there and check on? She said, I'm not even near home. Is she okay? And she did. I'm like, why are y'all acting the fool? I said, please go home. Because I was waiting for the other person to come to do this
You
video
could have
shoot that
had
took 4 hours.
company, you could have had a little date the night before, some company.
Well, I do want to say in their defense, y'all have a family text thread that you told me about that y'all
Yeah.
check in with each other every day. So you didn't check in.
No, I checked in that day. The next day, I mean, we're talking about
Uh,
that was that was just the night. I was coming back from Jersey,
gotcha.
and
That you
from
didn't
that
you
night.
okay. Gotcha.
So
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
I don't usually check in when I get back home, but she's like, and I'm like, listen,
But you
go
spoke to
home.
your sister. Your sister knew you
Yeah,
were home.
and she was like, she knew. She said, oh, she said she was I was opening my garage door. I said, listen, I'm opening up the garage. I'm getting in the house. She said, oh, I gotta go. And after that, I didn't answer the phone anymore. Again, I was
So
in
maybe
a
she
mode
thought you
of
didn't make it all the way in.
and I was like, I was in the mode
Yeah.
of I gotta get this video done. I gotta make it look good. I mean, I'm paying this chick a lot of money to do my content. So for my
Yeah.
social media content. So I'm like, oh, but yeah, child, that's the craziness that happened. I thought
Well,
these
I'm gonna
fools are
say this,
crazy.
right? So one of my, things was when I was younger, I would hear a lot of times about people passing away and it'd be weeks before somebody would find them. And I always had a fear of that, right? Before I got married and I had kids, I always had this fear of that. Like, what if something happens to me and nobody knows where to come look for me? And I always think about that now still. And I have my daughter, my oldest daughter, she is the type. So, bookworm, funny story. When we were at the Rock the Bells cruise last
Mhm.
year,
Mhm.
I hadn't checked in. And so she looked at my location and it had us in
Mhm.
Mexico. Homegirl what was on the phone with the trying to book a flight. She was on the phone with my mom trying to figure out why the hell I'm in Mexico, and it looked like I was in the hood of Mexico. She
Oh
trying to
my
figure out why the hell
gosh.
I'm in because it was like I forgot what kind of store it was. It was like a liquor store or something else, and she was like, "Oh Lord, she in the hood." She on the phone with my mom trying to figure out have you heard from her while she online trying to book a flight. Book a flight where? Where you going?
Where
She told me something. I'm just gonna book a
Right.
flight to Mexico. But I'm always thankful for that because I know if nothing else, she gonna make sure I'm alive. She gonna come check on me. I ain't gonna be sitting nowhere dead for weeks. So I say that I can understand how I would have been annoyed too. Some cops showing up at my door looking at something they doing a welfare
girl?
That's the
check.
scary
I ain't
part.
even been gone, and I ain't even been gone 24 hours. I would have
Right,
been
right.
Listen,
That
gone.
would
that
be
cop
my
But
part.
that cop
yeah,
never got to
but
talk to me. My sister said she said she got a dog in there. That cop told her straight up, I ain't heard the dog bark yet. And he was never gonna hear that dog bark. But my
so
whole point of this is I had to fix my doorbell because you weren't hearing it ring in the house. So
yeah.
that was crazy.
So, but I think it's amazing and it's a blessing that you have people that love you and they're gonna make sure you good, make sure you all right. Even
Child,
though
don't
they could
nobody
have gave
come
it a
check
few
on
more
me like that.
hours. They could have gave it a few more hours.
My
she
ass
had the
be
she had the
hibernating. I'll be like,
the only one to check on me is my oldest daughter. The rest of them be like, oh, she all right.
Well,
Mm-mm.
they live with
What's
you.
Nope.
going on with you? Well, I'm glad you're
Nothing
okay because I
much.
haven't heard from you all week either weekday. So
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
glad you're good. I'm glad you're good. What's going on with you,
I'm
Bookworm?
good.
Nothing, just trying to fly under the radar and I'll check in every now and then so don't nobody come looking for me. No, I go
Yes.
now when I go down under, I go deep down under. Yeah.
Hmm. Well,
Yeah.
y'all know I come looking for
Mm-mm.
y'all. I'm one of them
Yeah.
ones, and I
Hmm.
think it's because I've always had that like fear, so I don't want anytime I feel like something's off. Um, hold on, we got the engineer saying something about my headphones. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
you
Yeah,
sound
Okay.
good to me. Yeah, you
you
sound good.
sound
So,
fine to me. Yeah, maybe he was losing
so,
something.
uh, So yeah, so no, I'm that friend that will come hunt you down. I will show up at your door and
Yeah,
be like,
she is. And I'll be
yes,
somewhere
and
Yeah.
sleep like a damn bear.
Bookworm knows if she's about to go down for a couple weeks, she already know.
I might
Let me
as well
text
just
V
let
real quick.
somebody know.
Let me
Hmm.
text V. Let me tell my bestie to let V know I'm good because I'm gonna start blowing up phones, everybody phone.
Look, I go like this. I put my hood on. I go up underneath these covers
Mhm.
right here. I'll be gone when I tell you. Gone. But nothing going on, just enjoying the spring weather and in and out, in and out. That's about
Yeah,
it. Just waiting for spring break with these for this school. These
Mm.
kids need a break. I need a break. We all need a break.
Them
yeah. So
kids.
speaking of spring,
Them kids, I know. You know how
the
Mariah
kids.
had them babies? I got them kids over there.
Them kids.
That's
Ugh.
right. Speak- Speaking of spring break, y'all know ICE is in the airport. And there's a
Mhm.
lot of rumble going on right now about how, listen, I'm going to just say this. I don't care if this budget been approved and that budget ain't been approved. This don't make no goddamn sense. You
Nope.
can't pay the people that know how to do their job. This is the second time they'd have been without pay in less than a
Third,
year. Third,
third,
oh,
which
third,
I didn't
Third.
third.
know.
This is
And
It
third.
was a TSA. It was a TSA agent that called up to the Breakfast Club this morning, and she
It's the
was from
third.
Trenton,
Mhm.
Mercer County, and she
mm,
said that this is like people don't know this is actually their third time, and I thought it was
Mhm.
the second too, but she corrected
Mm-mm.
everyone and said it was the third time, and that yesterday when they got off from work, they were given $15 gas cards so they
Gift
can at least
cards.
put gas in
Mhm.
their car to come back to
first
work.
of all, gas is $5 a gallon. What
Yup.
Woo,
What
girl.
3 gallons gonna do for you?
Get you back to work
It's
the
gonna get
next
you
day.
home and get
That's
you
it.
back to
It's
work.
only
But how you get
the
back
next day.
home?
Yeah, that's it. She said when they got off from work, there was this little, and they can't accept anything from
Nope.
the public because
Mm-mm.
that's like a
Mm-hmm.
bribe.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Can't.
it's sad, but it is their third go
And
round
they haven't, a lot of them, from what I've heard, they haven't even gotten their back pay from the last
from
time.
before
So you got to remember
Mm-mm.
that. Like, it wasn't even that long ago when they were going through this before, and
and taking out
they still ain't
loans.
caught up. Yeah, they still haven't caught up from the last time. And y'all ain't paid them from the last time all their money. And now they without money again. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot more of them calling out than before. But my thing is, y'all can fight amongst yourselves up there in DC. Y'all can do whatever y'all want. But I feel like y'all need to come up with some emergency funds, and it can happen if they really wanted to. Come up with
Oh,
some
it's there.
emergency funds and pay these TSA agents and tell them ICE mother bleepers to go home. Because I don't understand why the hell they're getting paid to sit around and mean mug people and harass people. You are doing nothing to shorten these lines. And I mean, everybody talks about how, it's in Project 2025, but I just, I don't know. So my question to y'all is, are y'all traveling by plane over the next few weeks while they're sorting this out? And if you are you planning to arrive early? Like, we're both in very, like in airports that are in like major cities.
Oh yeah,
So, some
we're
of the
in major
smaller
hubs.
airports, yeah, some of the smaller airports might not be filling it as much as like Atlanta and Philly is. So, um, I mean, I hadn't planned to travel until July. So my,
Hmm.
my plans for July haven't changed. I'm flying to Puerto Rico in July. I'm going to Virginia a couple times. It's an 8 to 9 hour drive. I'm probably going to drive just so I have my car because my family's there and I'll be able to visit and do what I want to do. But this kind of stuff doesn't usually stop my hustle, but
It
it'll
might
be
pump the
very
brakes on
aggravating.
us a little bit, or it's
Yeah,
causing a lot of pivoting.
yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is. What's your take on that weekday?
First of all, this is a mess. I
He
want to be
has.
clear, and I don't want to give my political bag because that's just another situation. But the Democrats have offered 7 offers, and the Republicans have turned them all down. And
Every
all of them
last
have
one.
been offers to make sure that the TSA workers get paid. It's not
And
just
FEMA, right?
TSA. That's
It's
right. Home. I was
FEMA.
getting ready to say
Hmm.
FEMA and the TSA, but TSA is you see it more for TSA because they're out
It's a
front
bigger
and
out
whatever.
impact.
Okay.
Mhm.
First of all,
Hmm.
these people only make $35,000 a year. Okay.
Terrible.
The average. That's a terrible. It's terrible in a sense. So I'm sure
I
some of
mean,
these
but I
people
mean, think
had
about
side
it.
hustles.
Police officers, teachers, everything that's built to
Protect and
educate and
serve.
and protect and serve this country, they're all underpaid. Like
Exactly.
that's just a problem all around,
Yeah, it is.
unfortunately.
But the TSA worker gets paid $35,000. We're talking about ICE is getting paid with the $5,000 but $50,000 bonus, a ridiculous amount of money, and all they're doing is standing there watching the TSA worker. I I I, I want to be clear. Who needed that? Who needed
Not
a
us.
second layer of supervision on something that is in a major mess? The point of this whole thing should be get the line moving, get the people through. Well, first of all, do you know that TSA agent goes through almost 6 months of training before they can
Oh
get on
yeah.
this job to do this?
Hmm.
So ICE is not even prepared for this.
At
But we
all.
know that really this man wants government to no longer be government and to mostly be ran by private organizations.
Yes.
Privatizing
Again,
everything.
yeah. What
Hmm.
they don't understand is government doesn't produce shit. Okay, I'm going to keep saying it because see, you can't run like a regular business. You can't run like a Fortune 500 company, and you're not producing. You don't manufacture shit. You don't do anything, even, and you're not really even considered a service oriented industry. You're a public service. Okay. So that means that no matter what goes in, it's always taxpayer money that's going to be involved in this. Okay. Nobody, you can get all these private companies. That means all our taxes will go up. That's how. So
Hmm.
we're paying for this. I personally feel like this, and I mean, everybody can agree to disagree with me, but I know these people are traveling, but y'all need to stop. And I'm going to say this because of the fact is that these TSA people aren't working. I'm so glad that, thank God, my current employer, because normally I take jobs that travel every week. I couldn't tolerate that. I would probably just stay wherever I was at and not travel back. But we're putting a lot of stress on people that are, first of all, not getting paid. Gas is ridiculously high. They're barely
Mhm.
feeding their families. A lot of the TSA workers have quit, which I understand. You gotta
Yeah.
get out of these. You only making $35,000 a year, okay? Costco is paying people $25 to $30 just to work for them an hour. Why would I stand? I mean, you're already standing dealing with the public anyway. I might as well take one of those jobs. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying that's a pauper's pay. And then on top of the fact that you're asking me to come every day, do you know some of those people that they remember they promised when the first time this happened?
Mhm.
Oh, these people are going to get a bonus. Well, guess what?
Yep.
That didn't happen like you think. A lot of
Right.
people, if you like to understand what really happened with these bonuses, you had to have great attendance. That was
Yep.
prior to this whole strike. You had to not be on probation prior to this whole strike. A lot of people, if you were even late for work, that was considered like a demerit against you. So you could have worked all up until this time and still not get that bonus. And a lot of people did not get that bonus. On top of the fact that they're still getting taxes taken out of paycheck that they're not getting, right? Remember that.
And
Taxes still go
healthcare.
out.
And
And
And their
healthcare.
healthcare.
Yep.
healthcare is being
Their
taken
health
out
Yep.
still.
insurance, because health
That's
insurance
right.
comes out of your paycheck.
With
Yep.
paycheck. That's right. So all of that is still getting taken out of a paycheck that they haven't even touched.
It's like you're in the rears before you
You're
even
all
if they bring
that's
you
right.
up off of this, you're already in the rears.
So I just my heart bleeds for them. And then of course, as a federal employee, you can't take any money. So people have been wanting to give them gift cards, do a GoFundMe. You cannot. They will lose their jobs automatically. And you gotta think that these people that are showing up for work even without pay, they need this job. Or you wouldn't show. But again, if we really just went and shut everything down, what would they do? And that's the scary part, and that's the scary thing people don't want to do. But if we shut everything down, let me tell you, it wouldn't be long. It wouldn't even take probably 5 or 10 days before they would find a way to say, oh, you know what? We got to figure this out because people are not coming. I mean, those airport lines are all the way in the damn parking garages. Like in Philadelphia, I've seen them. But I will say this, and before I get off my soapbox about it, they arrived in Philadelphia today at the Philadelphia International Airport, standing around, and they interviewed people, and they were like, "Well, pay these people. Why you got these people just standing around looking at people? What's the point? The whole purpose we thought was for them to come and help move the line through security, not just move the line. And now this fool is talking about let's bring the Coast Guard in for what? I mean, the National Guard in for what? There is
There's
not a
no
crisis.
ruckus. They just need
There's
the
that
line. It's
they just
just
it's no ruckus. People are not showing their asses at the
no,
airport.
they're not. They're
They
They
really
aren't.
really
not.
are not.
Well, you
They're
can't
really
They
because
not.
you don't want to be put on that fly
Yeah,
ban.
no
You don't
fly
want to be
list.
put on
Yeah,
that.
and they
yeah.
Yeah,
and they kind of know what to expect. Like it's been all
That's
over
right.
social media, so they know
Yeah,
if I'm going to fly right now, this is what I need to expect. People are arriving 5, 6 hours early,
yeah,
exactly.
so there's no reason for people to get upset
People are
unless
staying
you have been living
overnight.
under a rock and you have no
yeah.
clue what's going on. Nobody's really getting
People are,
upset about it.
in the big airports, they got minutes. They call it mini suites or minute suites. People like they show this one couple was shown in Atlanta that they just came the day before and just stayed in the minute suites. If you pay for an overnight stay, it was a certain flat fee, and a lot of the big major airports have them where you can go in,
Hmm.
take a nap, shower, whatever. Listen, at this point, that's an extra expense that you're picking up, but it may help you if you have an extra expense of, first of all, and we talked about this last week, and we're back to this again. Buying those cheap tickets may not at this point be beneficial to you because a lot of people got turned away and didn't make their flight, and they were told that, oh, next flight can't be until Tuesday or Wednesday when you were supposed to fly out on Saturday. Think about it, and you're taking a
Hmm.
vacation. So Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you done paid for those stays, and you can't fly out to Tuesday. Maybe Tuesday was the day you were gonna fly your ass back home.
Right.
Hmm.
So those are other things, and now that airlines are an extra 15% above their normal amount for flights.
And they are
This
too.
is this is
Hmm.
a real total clusterfuck. I'm glad I'm not involved. I'm glad I'm not flying. I'm not even thinking about flying at this point. I told y'all before, we're in the United States of embarrassment right now, and I'm just gonna stay right here, okay? Because I'm too scared to leave in this country. I mean, nevertheless, because I had plans to go into the UA. I mean to the UAE.
Really.
Not going there.
Mhm.
I'm not going there.
Mhm.
Okay. And then I'm not going to Jamaica. I'm not going nowhere where I gotta fight to get my ass back here. Um, I don't know how safe it is here, but I just know that I need to get back here to be close to my family
I'm
if it's
about to
not
say
safe.
here is
Okay.
the
It's
lesser
a
option.
little quirky, but I'm gonna finish out by saying Krasner. So anybody knows that the DA in Philadelphia is DA Krasner. His ass was at the Philadelphia International Airport today. Just to remind ICE of what he said, a couple of months ago.
And he
You're
meant
going
it.
to FAFO. Don't FAFO over here in Philadelphia because you're going to
Hmm.
find out. And he listened to, and these ICE agents aren't wearing masks or anything at these airports.
No,
So
they
now people
can't.
are really getting to see your full face. And that's why I'm saying, why are they still, I saw Cory Booker on The View, and he was saying they're still fighting about them wearing the mask, but they're not wearing the mask at the damn airport. So what difference does it make? But they dragged that woman in San Francisco airport, like, and she was flying domestic. People had a drive, as long as you have a driver's license, a real ID, you can fly anywhere. And they were saying you're flying, but that you haven't proved that that child is yours. And that kid was a U.S. citizen.
Damn.
So
So,
it's crazy.
I'm glad you brought that up because, every time I've flown with my children underage when they didn't have a, state issued ID,
Yeah.
I always took my birth certificates with me. Nobody's ever
Mm,
asked me for it, ever. But
Mhm.
technically, if they feel like this is one of those things where there's certain laws in place that they don't really usually implement unless they
right.
just feel like effing with somebody or there's
Mhm.
really probable cause. And I've taught my daughter, if you fly in with your children, take their birth certificates. If you're going international, you have passports for them, but if you don't have a
Right.
passport for them yet, take a birth certificate because
Mhm.
they may ask you, is this your child? Do you have permission to have this child? Even
Mhm.
domestically, you know? And so I feel like they're going to use that to trap a lot of people with these
They're
Mhm.
gonna
ICE
use
agents.
everything they got.
Yes, they
Yeah.
are. So, to anybody listening to this podcast, if you are traveling with young children and you don't have a state issued ID for them, you don't have, even if you have a state issued ID, I don't care if you do have a state issued ID, I don't care if you have a passport, you need to have a birth certificate with you
Mhm.
that has your name and their name
Mhm.
attached. And if you are flying with somebody else's kids, you need to have a certified
Yeah,
letter
I ain't
that
flying
says
Yep.
with
that you can have
nobody
those
else's kid.
children,
Mm-mm.
you know, because these folks are using any and every opportunity they
Excuse.
can,
Yeah.
and it's unfortunate, but it's the truth, to get to do anything that they can to black and brown people here in the United States of America. So
Mhm.
I'm
Yep.
letting y'all know now, do not travel with your kids
Mm-mm.
without your birth certificates, and make a copy. You don't have to take the original, but you need to have a copy of their birth certificates, and they need to be with you at all times because these people ain't playing no games.
Mm-mm. The way
And
they
that's a damn
dragged that
shame.
woman,
That's a damn,
the way
and then
they
that
dragged
child have
her
to see
ass.
that. Like,
Yep.
come on.
Oh,
Come
they don't
on.
care.
It's, and they
It's almost
uh-uh.
like they're inhuman. It's almost
Yeah.
like it's a bunch of robots, or it's unreal. It's
It's the
unreal out
uncool
here. But
kids. It's the uncool kids. That's what
Yep.
I
that's
always
what
say.
it is.
It's the uncool kids that they grown up and they still uncool, and now they think they got some fucking power, and they just
Yep.
they just going rogue.
Acting the
It's
fool.
It's
ridiculous.
Acting the fool.
awful.
Acting the fool. It was dreadful. I really thought that that was horrible. I said to myself, okay, we've gone to the point. That's why I think Krasner showed up in Philly to say, okay, boom, we're not having that shit here. Okay, we're not having it at the Philadelphia International Airport. Plus, we need to know what's your purpose, because I saw one where the woman, the guy was standing behind her. Okay, what you standing behind her to do?
They don't know
She's the
what to
TSA
do. They
agent.
have no
What are you
order. They're
doing?
just showing up, and they don't even have anyone to tell them, "Okay, can you just do that?" They don't even
Yeah.
have a starting point. They're just showing
Mm-mm.
up, go inside, and then what? I don't even think they're clocking it. And what's going to probably happen is, are they real? Or, are you gonna see the real versus the faked, or versus
Mhm,
anything?
mhm,
So, my family, we have a trip, and this is the thing. It's May. I'm sorry, it's March. It's spring break for all the colleges around the
mhm,
country. A lot of the southern schools, the schools that go back to school like in August, they're already on their spring break. There's going to be, it's just going to be spring break all the way up until the next couple of weeks. So it's a heavy travel time anyway. And our family, we have a trip set up, and out the Philadelphia airport, and my husband always likes the first flights out. We are, even
mhm,
though hotels, resorts, all of them have check-ins at 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock at the earliest, we still take first flights out because you just never know. Plus, I like a first flight because you get a clean plane, you get a fuel plane, and that plane might have been sitting there all night, all ready to, ready to go. You might have fresh pilots, fresh crew, whatever. So our upcoming flight is at 7 o'clock in the morning. And already the plan was to be at the airport, 5 o'clock anyway. Well, now with all of this going on, I'm like, "Oh my goodness." Well, my family knows 2 hours is not enough for me. I need to be at the airport 3 hours. I have anxiety about flying anyway. I am very, very heavily medicated with any legal prescriptions, all kinds of shit. I take illegal amounts of medicine to just to be knocked out before the flight even departs, and that is serious business for me. So I like to be at the airport at least 3 hours in advance so I can come through and at least have 90 minutes to a couple of hours just to prepare myself. Now, even my family's like, "Oh god, now what time are we leaving?" I was like, "Listen, TSA opens at 3, and we will be being right there to greet them." And we have a 7 o'clock flight. But the thing is, people who have 8, 9, 10 o'clock flights, they're in that same anxiety feel that has that anxiety feeling that, oh my gosh, and they're getting there when the TSA opens. So you might have people who don't have flights to go out until 10 o'clock trying to get into these
Mhm.
lines. The thing used to be they would tell you you were too early and that they wouldn't let you check in. But
Right.
Yep.
if you're checking a bag in, yeah, it is too early, especially what time are you getting there? If my flight is at 7, what time are TSA might open at 3, but what's saying that the airline are they open to receive your baggage and all of that? Now you're held up there. So that's my thing now.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? We did have a check bag. But now I'm rethinking this whole thing through, and I'm like, everybody might be doing carry-ons. And I'm a get the shrink bags and
Mhm.
shrink them up, and that way everything fits. Our biggest thing on why we take when it's a family trip is for the body lotions, and we take full size
Mhm.
things. I'm like this, we'll all have our individual stuff, and anything that we might need, we're just going to have to buy out after we get there
Mhm.
from a gift shop, a store, whatever the case may be. Anything, we're just going to have to put have all our toiletries miniature. So like all of us are not going to be able to share the same toothpaste. Everybody got to get little individual, and everybody has to get little individual sunscreen. And so it's like more little stuff to take, and it's time consuming to me. If I just had everything where I could bring a check luggage, then they say, "Oh yeah, if you bring a check luggage, drop it at the street." I have never I don't even like having check luggage because I'm so scared that my luggage isn't going to make it. I'm damn sure not checking it on the street. So, those are one of the things that, I'm thinking about changing, and we're just going to have to go with the flow. And, we have some time, but hopefully some of this will be resolved and things will go a little smoother. Another thing, big airport corporations, they don't want this kind of drama. They don't want this chaos. They don't want this high gas. They don't want, if things happen now, they're forced to refund your money as they should, but still the airlines and these big corporations are going to start losing money. When they start losing money, that's when they start speaking up. And when they start speaking up, the government tends to straighten up, listen up, and everything, because now you're dealing with billions of dollars and billion-dollar corporations, and you're fucking up their capitalistic ways of doing things. And once that happens, you can't do that with the airlines. It's so easy to say, "All right, everybody stop traveling," because phew, if it wasn't for the expense of all of this, we could. I've made arrangements now on the Amtrak where I would have been taking a plane otherwise to some of my trips this year. However, it's still the inconvenience of it all, and people still have to travel for work, people still have to travel for whatever. So, but when these airlines are going to take a hit because the percentage of travel is going to go down. It is going to go down. Hell, people will just be going to all these concerts and carrying on and put their money towards that. Because it's getting ready to be a lit outside summer and people are going to find other ways to travel. So, I feel
Yes.
so bad for the TSA agents and things of that nature, but I don't foresee it going too much longer without shit really hitting the fan.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I definitely understand both sides, right? I understand what Weekday is saying. If we stop traveling, we probably could, you know. But that's also, there's a lot of people that travel for
And it's going
work.
to happen. Yeah,
Um,
but outside
there's a lot
leisure
of people.
travel is going to come down
Oh,
Shut
a
leisure
lot.
down.
travel is
It's
already
Yeah.
going down.
leisure
Yeah.
It's
travel is going to
already
go
going
down.
down.
Mhm.
Yep.
It's coming down.
It's
It's
already
no
down.
way in
People
the
are
world that people are
rethinking.
going to continue. Yeah, they're not going to tolerate this much longer,
Mm-mm.
and it's going to
No.
be like, listen. Well, first of all, like I said before, if I don't book the trip, and now your ass is telling me that I don't lost 3 4 days of my trip because
Right.
I can't get out of
Right.
here. I'm sorry, I am not going to travel like that. I cannot. I
Nope.
will tell you, Miss Bookworm, they were asking people because you are going at the height of the time, unfortunately.
Yep.
You're going through what they call rush hour. So yeah, they're asking people to try not to go as much through rush hour because of the fact that
The
that's
long
where the
lines.
overload is. Yeah, because we're getting ready to go into spring break. Most people are going taking their kids to Florida or wherever for that spring break, and so now that's just putting a damper on a lot of people's plans where they're like, oh, can't take my kids where I want them to take them. They're not going to get to enjoy spring break because it's not that it doesn't even come down to affordability. It comes down to the fact it's just making sense
Right.
financially. Am I losing more money than gaining something? And so I don't know what to say at this
Oh,
point. I want those people to get paid.
I'm
I
not
really do.
clear. Yeah, I do too. I'm not clear though on why there are so many cancellations because of the TSA issue. Now, I can understand the cancellations because, especially traveling internationally, because of everything that's going on with Iran and all of that stuff. But traveling domestically, and traveling to certain places internationally that are not affected by that, I'm not really understanding why there have been so many cancellations. That's to me is a different issue.
Are air
Um,
traffic
Well,
controllers a part of
let's shop.
this package? That's might
No.
be it too.
So
Oh, they're not?
no,
mm-mm,
Okay.
they're not.
they're getting paid, but there is a part of them that is part of the problem. Like there's the safety commission, I think, that
Right.
really is not a government
Hmm.
agency. Alexa, shut up. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what you're trying to help me with. Listen, I don't
She
know what
said, "I'm
else you're
gonna
trying to
answer
help
that
me with.
question for the three aunties. I got
Yeah,
that
Yeah.
yeah,
answer."
no, no,
She our
no,
fourth
bitch, fall
auntie.
back. Uh, bitch, fall back. Anyway, but there are a lot of other pieces to that puzzle because you got to think some of these airports are small, and they're
Yep.
saying
Yeah,
that eventually they're going to have to shut them down because they can't take
yeah.
it, and the capacity load of the people that are standing outside. That's why they're stopping them because they can't
Yeah,
take too
that's
many
and
flights.
that
We got to
becomes a
remember,
safety issue.
yeah, and it is safety. We got to remember just a couple months ago, before all of this happened, that they had started. There's a lot of flights that they had stopped. Remember when the first TSA? I think I was in Atlanta, and the lady was like, "Oh no, we don't fly. We don't have that time lot slot anymore." And I'm like, "What? You used to have these flights? Like, I knew the flights like the back of my hand. No, we got rid of those times, and they didn't bring them back, people. So it was a
No.
lot of flights that it wasn't that they were just canceled. they were time slots that they just start saying, "Oh, we're only going to fly in these particular cities in and out." And we talk about like Atlanta is a large air. I mean, it is a heavily traveled airport. Period. They
It
can
is the
name them.
busiest
Philadelphia is
busiest
it's
in the world.
yeah,
Not
it's
just the
world.
United
It's the
States, it's the
busiest
busiest
world.
in the
Yeah, it's
world.
the busiest in the world. And so, when you see a capacity where those people are in the park, I know what the park where the parking lot is in comparison to that damn door. And we
Mm,
talking
mm,
about
mm.
the parking lot is not it's just not across the street. It's across the street up the goddamn steps. We are talking about just
Yeah, so I've been
way
watching
beyond.
I've been following someone that's given the full rundown every day of what's currently going on at the Atlanta airport. Not that I'm traveling anywhere, but I'm just
You
nosy.
never know. You
and,
never
and and
know.
and I don't know if I might have to fly to town, right? So but like I know Weekday has been to the Atlanta airport probably more than me, and I live here. Bookworm, I'm not sure if you've been, but
Mm-mm.
S4 is where it started, and this is the first flight out this morning. The line started at S4 outside the building. So the way the Atlanta airport is
Mhm.
set up, you go in and you come out the same way. Unless you're
Right.
flying
Right.
Delta, then you go out on the south side. If you're flying any other airline, you go out on the north side.
On
But
the
the,
north
the
side.
door in and going in and coming out is the same.
Oh
So on the
Lord.
Delta side, this is just Delta. This ain't all the other airlines. On the south side, on the Delta side, the line started at S4, which is the beginning. When you first pull up to the airport where the doors are, S4, and you had to go all the way down to S1 to get in the building. And when you walk in the building, that's where all the baggage claim is. Because I told you it's all in and out. And even though it's a really huge airport, it's very efficient. It's one of the most efficient airports I've ever been to, even though it's as busy as it is. So you go in and there's a baggage. You got to walk all through baggage claim, down these long halls to get to TSA. Now the TSA
Oh my
lines
God.
at Atlanta Airport ain't nothing like the TSA lines
Off
at
the
Philly
chain.
Airport because remember, it's the
Mm-mm.
busiest airport. So you can imagine the amount of space needed to get people through TSA. I'll put it to you this way. I have pre-check. I
Mm-hmm.
still stand in line for a good 40 minutes with pre-check on a
Mhm.
regular day
Mhm.
at
Mhm.
Atlanta Airport.
In Atlanta.
Whereas
Yeah,
everybody
Wow.
else will
she
get
ain't
you in
lying.
10, 15 minutes. So that is
Right.
how large these TSA stations are. So you got to go
Mhm.
outside in through baggage claim down these long halls to get to TSA, which they're huge. I
It's on
mean,
the
I would
south
say at
side,
least
on the south.
1,800 square feet easily
Yeah,
for the
you
main side.
gotta go on the
And
south.
that's
Remember
just
in
for Delta.
TSA,
The south side was
yeah,
just for that was
it's
just for
for
the Delta
Delta,
flights.
just flights, just
It's
because they're only
crazy.
on the south. On the north, you can't
Hmm.
even really. You got to go to
I
for
can't
TSA
even.
pre-check. You have to go to the south. Normally, you
Oh my
don't go
God.
Hmm.
into the north. The north is for regular folks. Let me tell you, I would tell you right now, if I lived in Atlanta, I would get clear and still hope that I can get through the lines because that's not guaranteed.
Hmm.
But I mean, I used to have
Nope.
clear, but clear doesn't work here in Philly. But because it's something that's on Delta and them had an agreement. So Philly
Right.
has
Anyway,
American
yeah.
Airlines. It's the main hub here. But in
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta, it's clear, and you have clear. You can at least they'll move you up closer to the front. But then everybody
Hmm.
getting clear because it was already
Everybody and their
bad
mama
enough
got
with
clear.
TSA. Yeah, because it was bad enough because TSA pre-check, everybody and their mama had that. And that line is like 40, 45 minutes on a good day in at the
Oh,
ATL
On a
airport.
good day.
At the
wow.
Hearts, let me be clear, at the Hartsfield airport. So baby,
That's
on
a
top of the fact
shame.
that you gotta get the damn now let's talk about the fact that you got to get the tram to get over there if you gotta rent a car
Yeah.
and you still
And then
gotta
you
go
still
through the
no no no.
whole routine.
And after you get
You
through
gotta cross the
TSA,
Wow.
street.
you still got to.
Yes, yeah, you gotta catch the shuttle, the what's it called, the
Hmm.
tram. Yeah,
Yep.
listen, you definitely could
Daggone.
lose your. Yeah, I
Uh,
followed this girl, and she
but
was
I'm
like,
still
she
gonna fly
started at
though.
2 o'clock in the morning. She said she
I
started at two
I
got
don't
o'clock in the
care.
morning to catch her 8:15 flight. 2 o'clock in the morning, she got at to where she was running because her flight was getting ready to leave. They were because they closed the door. They used to close the
Hmm.
doors probably like 5 minutes before. They don't do that shit now. And then guess what? When
No
the
more.
plane says that they're full and they ready to go, they be like, all right, they pulling away. They're moving down. They might be sitting at that damn jetway forever, but they not gonna open them goddamn doors back up for you. You better
They
believe it.
just have to
Listen, I done
stop.
flown too much.
They have to stop this. You just can't
Yeah.
not pay people to do a job.
Mm,
You
Yeah.
just can't shut down. Before, a government job was the job to have, for federal
yeah. Now.
pensions and state, a
Yeah.
federal
I mean, and
job,
they're
a
really
government
one of the
job, and a
only
state
few
job.
people. Yeah, they're really one of the only few people that still have pensions. So these people
Yeah,
aren't trying
yeah.
to walk away from this job. They
Oh,
don't want to lose
I
their
probably
job. They don't want to
wouldn't.
lose
No.
the benefits.
Mhm.
But they're like, yo, I can't come to work. I ain't got no. I was listening to this girl on TikTok. She was like, I had to make a decision. Like, do I go to work today or do I make sure my kids got food? She said, because I ain't got
But
no
Mhm.
that's
gas in
what
my
they're
car.
hoping.
So if I go to
They're
work, I
hoping
gotta spend
people
my
quit.
money. I gotta spend my money
No,
on the
they're hoping.
gas.
They're hoping
I
people
think
Yeah.
they are.
quit. They hoping people lose their pensions. They're hoping that this country is so broke, and there's that. Listen,
Yeah.
people need to be paid for going to work. Point blank period.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or if you want the government not to get paid, then we're going to have to start with Congress.
Yeah.
And
That
that's it.
part.
Yeah.
That part.
So,
And then
That
you bringing
part.
in
all right,
people that don't know
next.
how to do
Listen.
my job, and you paying them big old
Yeah.
bucks
Right.
to sit there and watch me not get paid. That would piss me the fuck off. Anywho,
Mm-mm.
so let's talk about Candy and Todd. They are finally divorced. The divorce is final. She had to pay out a $2 million settlement, but I'm understanding that she
Phew.
also is paying child support. Um, and I think he got a few other perks. She is doing a show here. I want to say it's April 26th or 27th, somewhere around there. At the City Winery. It's called I Did, I Don't, I'm Done. And she said it's one night
Oh,
only, and she gonna talk about it all. So she gonna sing about it.
good.
She gonna talk about it. One night only. And so Todd went
Candy
up
gonna
under
make her
her
money come
announcement.
hella high water. She gonna make that two
Always she
million
get two
back.
million back.
She
Mhm.
already working on
So
making that 2 million
y'all
back.
already y'all already know if I don't want this, I don't like the separation of me and my coins was a person, it would be Candy Burris' face right
Candy
there.
Candy.
Burberson.
So
And
Mhm.
it's funny. It's funny
she
because her birthday and my birthday are the same day.
Are
oh
they?
wow.
Oh, yeah, she is a
Yeah, that's
Taurus.
yeah,
True,
she
true Taurus.
yeah.
W-
So
Hmm
We
Todd
don't
went
want to
under
part with
her
our coins.
uh, when she made the statement or the post, I should say. Todd went under the post and was like, "Your ass ain't done." And he said, "Yeah, because that's how it's called. I did, I don't, I'm done." He was like, "Your ass ain't done.
Ugh.
Your ass ain't done." And he put a smiley face. And then he was like, "Y'all go support her. Go support her show."
Listen,
hmm
I'm gonna need for it to be written in the divorce decree. Don't be commenting under my post, neither, nigga. We divorced. This is how we don't need to let people know how happy, how we don't need to know. We divorce. They don't need to know the particulars of
I think
laugh, laugh,
I
giggle,
think they're doing
giggle.
this. I think they're doing this because of the kids. I think that, of course, you want to be as amicable as possible. I mean, he is now going to be the custodial parent, right? So, when we look at the rundown, Candy's worth $30 million, right? She's worth 30
She got the
million.
better half of
Todd,
the deal.
that's right. Todd got 2 million. He wasn't going to get any from the original prenup, but he got 2 million. He gets to keep those restaurants, whatever's left of it, because there's not many
Now
that's
you
not
Right.
gotta
open.
run them.
But yeah,
Yeah,
so
don't he
he
have
gets
to
to
get
keep
them
Yep.
them.
back
Most of them
open
are.
and running?
Yeah, yeah. He wasn't paying the Remember, he had stopped paying the rent on those restaurants. So that's when things really had got ugly, right? He stopped paying the rent, and people were after her, but he had stopped paying. So now she's like, "Listen, you can have it. I'm not in it." He had to move out of the primary residence, so she got to keep the house. Yeah, he got to go somewhere else. He gets
And
ten
he had
thousand to
a he
twenty
has
five.
like some type of condo here
Yeah,
because he did a tour
yeah,
of it the other day. He was like, "I'm glad I
yeah,
didn't give this up." That was like
yeah.
the little caption under the post was, "I'm glad I didn't
Mhm.
give this up."
So he
They
gets
had some
10 to
properties here
25.
in Jersey too. I think they had a couple of properties here in Jersey that his daughter was
Yeah,
living in.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Mhm.
he was from New
I
York,
remember that.
so that's not surprising.
Mhm.
He gets 10 to $25,000 a month for the kids, for child support, and that's depending on it depends. Like the 25,000 could be because there's activities or whatever that month.
Right.
So it's not a consistent 25,000. This is what you're gonna get until them kids turn 18, kind of thing. It's gonna be contingent upon other things, and that's what
The
they said.
kids' needs.
So for
Yup. The kids'
yes,
needs.
that's right. So at this point, that's all he got. Now I'm not saying that I wouldn't have wanted to give him any, but I don't know the business, right? We don't really know all of what went on, but I think he kept insisting that he wanted everybody to see. Listen, let's stop living by public opinion. A divorce is a
Right.
divorce. I don't care. I
You
don't care
still
who you
right.
are. I don't care because you're at celeb
Mhm.
level doesn't make it any good any better because a divorce is a divorce and now you got children involved. Um, I think in retrospect, listen, Candy did come out well. I mean, she didn't have to pay him half because I'm sure his attorney was trying to get half. They were trying to
Oh,
get
damn
half.
yeah.
They were trying to get the house, and so for him to settle at the two
That's
million,
just messed up.
he
I'm
he
sorry. I got no
let him
respect for
go
men
on.
that do that.
But it's so many of them out there. There are so many men out there. And let's just talk about because everybody keeps thinking this is only happening to wealthy women. No, it happens to the everyday woman that was the breadwinner in her
Mm-mm.
household that she could
Yep,
be subject to this.
absolutely.
I know women that happened to. I know them personally.
Yeah.
Their family members and friends that they were subject to the fact that their spouses who wasn't contributing the way that they were contributing, but they were like, my man, my man, my man, until he started to show that he was really your woman, your woman, your woman, because he wanted to be taken care of like a nurse. I mean, he wanted a nurse with a purse, right? So at the end of the day, we got to be real careful. And I will tell you, at this big old age, listen, if you coming with me, there is a prenup that's involved. I you might not think I have shit, but I think I got some shit. And I think I got some ways of making some money. So when they first got married, the understanding was that they were going to do this together and they were going to bring each other on a glow up, right? Well, she did bring him on a glow up and they did do businesses together until things fell apart, right? They did those plays together. So it was not just limited to that he didn't contribute. He knew the production side of the business, which definitely helped her. I did go to the play in New York and saw her. It was very good. She was very good in the
It
play.
was good.
I mean, so
Oh,
yeah,
her
she was
play.
really
I
good.
thought you meant The Wiz.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know. I saw the Wiz too, but I saw the play
Mhm.
that she played in recently, and it was very good. I mean, so I would just say that at the end of the day, it just didn't work. Let's move on. But I want ladies, I'm talking to you. I'm sorry. Men are the first ones to say, "Oh, they'll take us to the bank." Listen, y'all brookies ain't got the kind of money that these women have today. Okay, y'all not bringing it to the table like a lot of these women are bringing it to the table. So I'm talking to my nieces, guard yourself. I was talking to somebody and they were like, "Oh, I think I'm gonna, I like this person, whatever." At my big old age, you think I'm just gonna let you walk up and get whatever my retirement, whatever I got left, and I roll out of here and I said, nah, like I always tell people, I'm gonna stay and put my foot on it. You need to spend 10 years in this. You need to build this. This ain't something that you should get to walk through the door and say, okay, yeah, let's get married. And then I'm going, then you're going to give me half. Or God forbid, when, God calls my name and he asks me to come and have that dirt nap, that you're going to be able to say, oh, I'm going to take it all. No, baby, I got my stuff headed to somebody else because I know who put in the time and the energy, and I can tell you I've seen this happen. So in a way, Candy, you fared out well. Let that man had a $2 million. Let him have custodial what's called because I love how these men want these children. We're gonna see how that work out for you. We're gonna see how long that work out for you. Because I've seen a lot on the internet and on social media. Men are now saying the one woman said she was going on vacation. He said, "How you could be going somewhere and I got the kids? You went to court and got those kids. You asked for those
Yeah.
kids.
Shit,
Yeah,
I
I
do
want to
that and
get to
I'm
live that
married.
life like that. Yep, that's right.
I do that and I'm married. What you
That
Yeah,
talking
part.
about?
yeah. You asked for those kids, so you're gonna get them full time. Enjoy them.
Shit, yeah.
Enjoy them. So it's just a lot of that. So now that he
Yeah.
asked for them, because in his mind he sees just a check. There's with children,
Okay.
there's more to it than checks. So, mm,
I already told
Yeah.
I
So I got a
remember
question
when
for you
my kids
ladies.
were younger. I remember when he said we were I don't know, talking shit. You know how you be talking shit. And I said, "Yeah, if you and I get a divorce, I'm telling the judge he need to take the kids. I don't have my time.
I had a
He could
listen.
take the kids and give
I had
me
had that discussion
weekends.
before the baby was even born. Okay, I already
Give
know
me
what I'm built for, what
weekends.
I'm not built for. So, I'll take every other weekend and some
Yep.
holidays.
I get give me yeah, yeah, and we gonna split this summer right on down. Hell, I was doing that while we was married, but there's that. Like I said,
That's funny.
I
That's
was like,
hilarious.
you need to tap
So I
in.
got a
You
question
need
for
to tap
y'all.
in.
I got a question for y'all. So I was reading this. No, it wasn't an article. I was watching this video on TikTok or something, and this woman was talking about how her friend got engaged, and it was someone that she was extremely close to, like she considered like a best friend, like in her most intimate circle. And she found out about the engagement with the rest of the world, as she said, on social media. And so it made her have to take a second to kind of step back and be like, hmm, I might need to rethink this relationship. And maybe what I'm feeling for her is not what she's feeling for me. Because if I'm as close to you as I think we are, why would I be hearing this on social media with the rest of the world? And it wouldn't be something that I was already privy to before you shared it. So it made me think, and I've had this happen to me before. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was something super, super like important in her life. And I found out about it on social media. Not only did I find out about it on social media, she had an attitude that I didn't congratulate her. And I said, well, you didn't tell me. And you don't know that I saw anything on social media. You assumed that I saw it on social media. So how you got an attitude that I didn't congratulate you when I'm supposed to be one of your best friends and I'm having to hear about this, excuse me,
On
on social
social
media?
media.
Like I would think that I would have
mhm.
been privy to that prior to this being told to anybody. And so it made me kind of rethink our friendship at this point at this current state that we're in. We're no longer friends. But at that time I had to rethink our friendship and like, maybe this person isn't what I think our relationship is, because I would never have this kind of news and not have shared that with them prior to letting the world know, as this person said on TikTok. So my questions to y'all is, how do you feel about that? People that you consider, and I'm not talking about acquaintances, I'm not talking about
Mm,
friends that you
Mhm.
just talk to every now and then, distant friends. I'm talking about like your circle, like your sister circle, where y'all are sending memes all day, every day. Y'all are checking in with, hey, hope you having a great week. Have a beautiful day. Like you have a dialogue going, and y'all are close. You consider them your
mhm.
sister, your bestie. Um, how would you feel if you found out about something significant in their life, a marriage, a divorce? And I would say this: divorce is a little divorce is one of those trickier things, right? Because that's something where you might have to go get some counseling or whatever, but you still gonna
Nah,
find out
nah.
about
You
it.
going, yep.
Right, but you still gonna find out about it before the rest of the world. You know what I mean? You might not find out about it when it's exactly happening right then in that moment because they might be processing and it's, something that they've never experienced and they gotta, because everybody handles grief differently and I put divorce with
Right.
grief, right? But you gonna know about it before the rest of the world know about it. So those major things: marriage, divorce, grief. Somebody passing away that's super close to them. Like, how do y'all feel about that? And would that make you, like this person on TikTok, change your thought about this relationship? And I have buckets, right? So would you move it to a different bucket, like an acquaintance bucket? Would you still keep them in that intimate circle bucket? You know, if someone did that, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm big on loyalty. So, and anybody that really knows me know I'll go your ass in New York minute like fucking Casper. Um, I wouldn't
I'm
like
so
that.
good at
I
that.
I think,
I'm
yeah,
sitting
I,
here
I
in
wouldn't
between
like
these two
that.
Tauruses, y'all. Let me just say this real quick. I'm sitting here in between these two Tauruses who they not lying. I've seen them do it, both of them, with people that they done known since damn near they was in diapers. Okay, so they telling the truth, all the truth. But then you got this Cancer, this
Mm-mm.
nurturing one, that's coming to their life, and it's like, you gonna love me, flaws and all. So you can try to ghost me if you want to. I will show up at your door and sit there like a broken-hearted man until you answer it. Okay.
I just I have limited amount of friends, first of all. So I know if somebody did that to me, I would be so. I mean, I want to be really transparent. I would be hurt. I would be totally hurt. Mainly if I called you a friend, because like I said, I can tell you, I can count them all on one hand, not hands and toes, one hand. So if you did something that was like, right now, I didn't tell a friend something, but hopefully she didn't see it on social media and said, that heifer didn't tell me. But, she knows that
Oh,
I probably didn't tell her that piece for a
uh,
reason. But it was really because, I just was unemployed and I wasn't telling everybody I was unemployed. Okay. But I didn't tell her. I would never not tell her something like if I was moving to another country or something like that. She'd be the first person I would have called, be like, "Hey, girl, I'm moving to another country." She'd be like, "Let's get together." We get together. Like there are friends that I just get together maybe once or twice a year, and we catch up
okay.
all during that time. That's what I'm saying. But to go out, first of all, what I feel about social media, I use my social media for really one purpose, and that's business related, or if I feel like I need to set off and tell you something as collective, as a group, like I did the whole Black History, and it was around women. But I'm not going to sit here. I don't know you damn people. I really don't. I don't
Right.
care how many. I think I got 2,100. I think I got 47 Instagram followers or bullshit, or I don't even know how many I got on Facebook. No, I'm not no big time, but I got enough people that I know I don't know all y'all motherfuckers. I'm just not trying to be cruel. I'm just being real. So if y'all want to start dropping them off, go right ahead. Because in a sincere, for me, I'm more of a open, not really open book, but open book in the sense of my sincerity, right? And my loyalty to people. So I would not like to hear that you're saying some huge, something so big, and then you expect me to say, girl, you didn't call me and tell me. Because if you didn't call me and tell me, and we are really truly friends, what I would consider in that category, not in the, I have acquaintance category too, but if somebody I truly would, I introduced you to my family, you sat and broke bread with me and my family, we've gone on trips together, and the first time I'm hearing something you feel like you need to announce to the world, girl, bye. I don't have no time for you. Because let me tell you, that tells me about you, that you're always looking to grandstand. You're always looking for reassurance from other people. And I don't want to be with some insecure ass friends. And that to me is just too damn insecure for me to have to go and tell. TikTok, Instagram, your Facebook friends. If people, everybody that really knows me knows, you would have never known my father had passed away almost 4 years ago because I didn't post it. You would have never known that my grandmother passed away almost 9 years ago. I never, everybody that knows me knows I never posted, like my sisters and all them. That's what they did. I said nothing. God forbid you would not know my mama was gone. Because the only people that need to know are the people that really I love and I know them. And I wouldn't give that information to everybody in the world because guess what? I don't need you to mourn for me. All right. I need you to stay in the social media streets buying my products and my services. That's how and I'm just going to classify you there. And I'm going to leave you right where you at because the five people that are my really what I call my A1 day ones, we've been rocking. I mean, we know each other in and out. And if something happened to them, I'm going first of all, I might call you up and curse you the fuck out for you doing that and not telling me like, whoa, why did I have to hear this?
That's where
And
I'm
then
at. That's exactly where I'm at.
after I done cursed you out and told you when I have to hear it from the streets, I'm cutting you off. Because I'm like, we weren't really friends. Because a real friend would never let me hear it from the streets. Many serious shit you would be calling me and you'd be telling me we would be crying together. We would be doing everything together. If it's a divorce, if it's a death, if it's something that we should be celebrating, girl, I'm there. I'm bringing a bottle of champagne to your house. We're gonna do it up. That's just who I am. So yeah, first of all, I'm gonna tell people we gotta stop these pseudo friendships and shit. It really's not healthy for you, it's not healthy for your inner peace because when you got to come out and tell somebody, boy, I thought we were friends, y'all were never, anytime you got to think about it, y'all were never friends in the first place. That's just my commentary.
Very true.
Yeah. It makes you reevaluate the whole situation. That's it. It's just if I have to reevaluate our friendship because my flabbers were gasted because I found out something on social media that should have been a text or whatever, however you should have gotten that information to me. And I mean, listen, I don't share. I used to be a heavy sharer on social media and I stopped. I stopped a while ago. I don't put too much out there, my highs or my lows. I had a whole surprise party and I didn't go on social media to say all of that. I just when I was going to and I was getting ready to put it all together, after I thought about it, I was like, "You know what? That was such an intimate moment that I wanted to keep to ourselves and everything." So, once I started feeling like those who need to know, um that's how I changed doing things on social media. Thank God I have never had to experience a milestone or an announcement so great from someone in my inner circle that I had to find out that way. Thank goodness I've never experienced that, but if I had, I would have to call you out I would have to call you out on I'm calling you privately, but I'm the type of person that sarcasm and oh word, that kind of shit. Um I have a tendency to do a sarcastic get back, but not a lick back. So if where I had to find out on social media is where I'm going to comment my little slick ass comment. So the public, if you want to put it out there publicly, I'm gonna tell you how I feel about you putting it out there publicly. Before out something like, "Oh word, I had no idea. Hold tight, let me call you." Like I'll put some shit on there like that. I'll respond to you, but to the point where you know that that was fucked up that I had to find out that way. So you're going to know publicly because I'll be slick like that and I have a tendency, yeah, I have to get one up on you because now I'm pissed off. And then after that, the situation will be evaluated, and I might have to ghost you for a little while. I might have to. That's just the way. That's just the way I'm wired. That's just the way, blame it on the birth chart because that's just the way I am wired. I'm like, oh
And I
no,
think it's
and I'm offended. I'm flabbergasted. I'm offended, and I'll be like, word. Oh, really? Okay. Now, deaths, I don't usually announce too much of that. I'll keep that in my circle. And then I don't like those types to be in a group chat. I just might tell one person and be like, yo, go hit that, take care of that for me because I have to deal right now and it's a whole process for me. But yeah, no, I don't play that way.
yeah.
I don't make grandioso announcements on social media before my circle would know. Like, yeah, I had a whole listen, I was blessed with a whole shore house was entertaining before
Mm-hmm.
anybody knew. And and I think the only reason I did is because I had to get a jump on everybody else posted what kind of fun they were having. Everybody be like, where the hell you at? So I had to, kind of come out. But yeah, I don't tell a lot of my business and I don't mind those who do. However, don't be putting something out there I should be knowing about personally because I'm gonna take that shit personally. I will. I'm easily offended.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely agree. And it's interesting because both of you are very private people, and I don't know if that's a Taurus thing or that just happens to be
Yeah.
y'all, but
Oh no,
most
that's
Tauruses
we private.
yeah, most Tauruses I know are very private. But even with you guys being private, you still make sure that people know things that are important,
Oh
um,
yeah.
to the people that you care about. And yeah, y'all know I get you talking about you get offended easily. I'm a Cancer. My emotional ass be like, um, but and I can be the type too, like especially if I'm grieving,
Mhm.
like when Maya went into labor,
Mhm.
I knew that I was gonna be an emotional wreck because again, I'm a Cancer and I'm supposed to be helping her hold her legs, and I'm over there in the corner praying. They like, what the hell are you even in this room
Oh
for?
my goodness. Of
So,
no
but I
help.
already know that I'm gonna be like crazy. So it's like, okay, I pick a designated person.
Yeah.
They know this is my list of people that must know. Don't let me find out you ain't told everybody. I don't care if you don't like them. You better make sure everybody know. And so but you're still gonna know before any announcement. Before I announce
Oh
that
yeah.
that grandbaby was here on social media, my inner
Everybody
circle
else
was
is
well
yeah.
aware.
Yeah.
And I just think that that's and I get social media makes it easy for people to make an announcement to everybody in one lump sum. But I think it's important to remember, and I think we were talking about this. We were talking about the art of putting a stamp on an envelope and sending an invitation.
Mhm.
Like that is gone. People send out, I do it. We send out invites, we
Evites.
do this. And, I feel like even though social media makes things easy, there is still some intimacy and some connection that needs to be had between you and your close friends and family that is shared between y'all and not with the rest of the world, as they say.
Mhm.
Um, and I truly believe that. I haven't been sharing much on Facebook at all or Instagram. I haven't posted much of anything. Been kind of on a fast, and it feels good not to have to be like, oh my god, let me get on there and post what I did this weekend and da 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 da. Like, for
Mhm.
what? What is the point of it? Um, but to do that is to me when you put out there for the whole world, this is what happened, and you don't share that moment with your intimate circle. It's like, oh, I'm just one of them.
Yeah, yeah,
I was
especially
very
if
offended.
Yeah.
I was
yeah.
extremely offended. And for that, if for her to ask me why I was offended because I didn't give my condolences or whatever the hell it was, I don't know if it was a good thing or bad. I can't remember what it was. I was just pissed. And for you to be mad because I didn't Bitch, how you even know I saw it? How you know I was on Facebook? Like,
And I
why would
never
you put
the
me
things
in
I
that?
missed, right. The
I
things
miss
I
so
miss. I
much because
got a
I'm not on
bestie.
there.
I got a bestie who has to actually tell me, yo, you got to go on Facebook, such and such this and such. And I'm like, oh, Lord, what's going on? Or did you hear this? And, she has to keep me up to date with what's going on because, oh, God. Mm-mm.
Mm. So no, I definitely think that friendships that matter, and that's why I always tell my kids, right, my daughters, having a handful, they said 5 people, you know,
Yep.
10 people at the most that you have in your inner circle, that's really it, because you have to be able to pour into those relationships, and not sharing those intimate details with them prior to sharing with the world, to your point, Miss Bookworm, can make it offensive if we're supposed to
Yeah.
be sisters, you know? So
Homies. Yeah.
if you calling everybody your home girl and did that and the I can't be making all them phone calls, and you going through something, and I got to check up on you every other week, make sure you still alive, and that's too much work. So
I can't
whoever I have in
afford a
my
bunch of
intimate
friends.
circle,
That's me. I can't afford a bunch of friends. That's where I'm
girl,
at in my life right now. I can't afford a home girls. That's it. That's
listen,
it.
we gonna
Keep
have to
your
talk
circle
offline, because
small, tight.
I got
Look,
some information
small,
about a
tight, and
friend.
affordable.
Right,
That's
I
it.
got something about a friend recently. I was like, so I got to fly, I got to do
Oh,
this, I'm not gonna be
oh,
able to make it.
oh.
I'm a
I
huckleberry.
already, I already, I
So
already
it's
figured
hard.
that one out.
It is
Yeah,
hard.
I was
It is hard to
wondering.
maintain friendships. Listen, y'all already know Miss Bookworm. She had a surprise party. I flew in that morning and flew out the
If-
first thing smoking the next day. I don't play about my friends that are close to me. I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do, but I can't be having all these people. It's too much. It's too expensive.
Ooh,
It's too much
that's what I
work.
said.
I'm
Having a whole
going through
bunch of
perimenopause. I got to remember shit. I got to remember your birthday, your wedding anniversary,
no
your kids'
new
birthday.
friends.
I
I
ain't
can't
got
do
no
no
time for
new
all of that.
friends.
Listen, I'm
That's
not
I
why
saying
I
always tell
can't
anyone.
people
afford.
this. I
I'm
always
making
tell people,
acquaintances.
listen, I got
Go
enough
ahead.
friends. I don't need to make new ones.
No, I
Hmm.
don't
That's
need
how I
no
live.
more new friends. I
Mm-mm.
can't
I
keep up
love
I
with
my
got
you.
enough.
acquaintances. I love having acquaintances and
Mm-hmm.
people I can hang out with, I can go out
Yeah.
with. That's cool. But those people that are my friends, that I consider a friend,
Mm-mm.
nah. It's a small
Mm-mm.
net.
Mm-mm.
No
And
new friends, no new friends. That was a good
Mm-mm.
listen. That was a good not for nothing. But that what we just spoke about was the perfect niece and nephew. I mean nieces like
mm-hmm.
thing to
Yeah.
when
Mm-hmm.
you say you have a friend. That was good for like a letter portion. What I was trying to say, the
Mm-hmm.
the type of advice we
Mm-hmm.
just talked about right there, that's real deal. When you're in your 20s, you have a plethora of people because you just
Yep.
got out of college. You're not so far behind high school. You're starting to meet new people in your field of work. You might have been in a sorority. You might join another group, whatever the case may be. But as you get older and life starts lifing, and then you start getting married or having children, or you just get so into your career and might not have, a outside family like that, or whatever the case may be, it almost seems like the people in your life, your circle, it either starts thinning out or it starts grouping out. So I might have
Mm-hmm.
3 sets of friends,
Yep.
sorority group or mom's group or a church group, some
Right.
homegirls that you hang out from the church, and sometimes you don't cross reference your friends.
Don't do
But
that.
as you no, that gets a
Take it from
little.
me.
Yeah, it gets a little sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I have crossed a
Mm-mm.
few friends, but then that was it. But other than that, this is a good segment to take away from the aunties as when you go to select your friends, make sure you know the difference between friends, associates, your
and
home,
acquaintances.
your homies, your acquaintances, categories. It's okay to categorize your friends. It's okay to have different groups. It's okay to not cross them. Everybody does. All your friends don't have to know each other. All your
Mm-mm.
acquaintances don't have to everybody
They
that
ain't
comes
gonna
to
be
your
friends.
wedding, everybody that comes to your wedding, your party, your cookout, your funeral will not know each other.
Right.
So you don't have to go through life with everyone you know has to know each other. It
Yes.
it doesn't work like that. It doesn't have to work like that.
Mm-mm. And not
Mm-mm.
everybody gonna like everybody's, and don't
Nope.
force it. I got friend groups now. We have a friend circle, and there might be somebody in that circle that don't care for the other person in that circle. We
Right.
get together when we have to get together, but outside of that
Right.
circle, they not
That's
cool.
it.
They don't. Not that they
Right.
don't just. They're not that they don't like each
Mm-mm.
other. They just don't click.
Right, right,
And
right,
that's
right, right.
okay. They're cordial with each other when it comes to social events that we do together, but outside of that, they like
And
nah.
we are multifaceted humans,
Yes.
we have different personalities that mesh with different people, and
Mm-mm.
that's just life.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. So I definitely agree. I mean, bookworm weekday, both of y'all are like I consider, both of y'all my sisters, my besties,
Mhm.
but we don't move in the same circles. But y'all are
Nope.
still like my besties.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And that's what we mean. Like you can have a friend over here and you can have a friend over here and y'all do things together and y'all do things together and not everybody we're all cool, but we don't
Yep.
we don't move in the same circles. We didn't meet at the
Mm-mm.
same time. I met her as a mom. I met her as a work colleague. So, you know,
Right.
but we get on this mic. Now, this three aunties in the mic. I
And
like how
tear
this
shit
works.
up.
We definitely mesh. We definitely mesh well on this mic. But
Yep.
yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and probably wrap it up. And we'll do the letter next week. My throat is
I
hurting. My
hear you.
voice is
You
about
struggling
gone.
there.
Yeah,
Well,
I
you're
am. I
we got
struggling.
a
am.
good talking
We
today.
gave we gave some advice. We gave some advice to our aunties. I mean, to our
Yep.
nieces and
Yeah,
nephews
yeah,
today. So
yeah. I
we'll
think the
we'll get
other
back
thing
to our
is
letter next week.
that people. I'm going to finish this by saying I think people need to realize that friends are. I feel like it's a season.
Yep.
The
Oh,
friends
here
I
you
had in
go.
high school. Excuse me. No, I probably need some water. The friends I had in high school, I no longer had them. They're not friends. I really just didn't keep no high school friends. The friends I had
Mhm.
college, I still have somebody that I'm acquaintance with. But as you know, you start to see each other. We grow, right? We are two.
You grow.
If you're
Yep.
not growing, if you're not growing, you're slowing. You're slowing your whole process of just being who you need to be. Okay? Because guess what? I work on being friends. That's the other part that I think we haven't talked about is that for some people, for me, it's I gotta remember, I got one friend, my college friend always calls me the trifling friend because I never reach out to her that often. She be like, oh, there you are, my trifling friend. But I mean, there's been some ups and downs of our friendship that has caused me not to be so like forthcoming and say, oh, I gotta talk to her all the time. But in the same sense, I think that you need to understand that friendships are a give and take, right? And so, as much as we want to say, "Oh no, I'm always giving, she's always taking," no, at some point in time, you're going to be taken too, you know, and you accept that. And we're not talking about finances, people. And sometimes we're not even talking about your mental strain. We're just talking about the fact that when you need somebody, who you're going to call and chew their ear
That
off about the bullshit that's going on in your life. And
Yep.
that
Yeah, I
could
Yep.
mean
be
that goes
that
back to
person.
seasons, right?
That's right.
Not only
Yep.
just
Yep.
friends
Seasons.
being
Yep.
a season, but just
Yeah.
the season in your life that you're going through
That's
and
right.
that person
Yeah.
being there for you. And then When it's their
Yeah,
season, you there for
season.
them.
That's right. So just keep that in mind because I think you're right, Miss Bookworm. You said something that's so true. When you're in your 20s, you probably got like 10, 15, 20 friends, but we've
That's
seen
too
those
many
friend
of them.
things fall apart when people go out
Yeah.
for they go on trips or they go out for dinners. Or I always used to tell my brides when I was a wedding planner, there are three sets of friends that you have. You need to determine who you pick as your bridesmaid. And usually
Yep.
if you got your fun friend, she always fun, but that bitch is always broke. She never has any money, but she always wants to have fun. I mean, seriously, that's just really it. It, right? Then you have your
I'm just
friend
playing.
that you have your friend that she don't really want to do much because she admits that she's broke and she ain't got the money for it and whatever. And she can sit back and just say, I ain't got it, girl. I'm not gonna go.
Mhm.
Then you have the sensible friend, right? The sensible friend is always telling you how to handle your money. Like, don't be spending your money on that bullshit. Get this, sister. So when you pick those out of those three categories, you gotta figure who would I trust to run my show. I'm gonna tell you, usually it's the friend that's not the partier. She's the
Right.
friend that's always in your damn ass about that money or about something that you're doing in your life that's not making sense. And we never pick her, right? Because we always picking the hype friend because like she knows what I like. She'll throw a great party. Most of the time, she's not gonna throw the party you think. You're gonna be
That's the
disappointed. So that's it's really the truth. It's the person
yeah.
that you think is like the party. That's my girl. She know what kind of party I want, and she's the one that they've been fighting with the whole time. And she's the one that really doesn't have the money, and she's the one that's showing her jealousy because you're the first one getting married. So I always say this. I used to say this to brides, like you picked the wrong person to be your bridesmaid because y'all grew up together or whatever, and y'all always having fun. You're at the club together, whatever. But guess what? Now you're moving to a different part of your life, and you're
Yep.
not going to be clubbing with her all the time. You're going to be settled down, married. Go with the
Life.
person that you know is gonna run this like a well-oiled fucking machine, and that's usually the girl that's corny, but she's always in your ear. I mean, she's just the person that you really probably should choose to run that part of it. So just think things out, ladies. And as you get to your 30s, you'll start dropping off friends. I can tell you.
And it's
You just drop
okay. And that's
And
them.
it's
okay. That's how
okay.
life is supposed to move.
I'd drop some in my 40s. I'm gonna drop some in my 50s. Maybe
Yeah,
not my
it happens.
50s because I dropped
I
I
think
dropped the
I
ones in my
did.
40s. I dropped
How old
some in
am
my
I?
40s.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm about to pee on myself. Stop, bookworm. Because I know who you're
I think
talking
I
about. Cut
did.
it out.
I
Uh,
think I did.
Mm.
I'm hoping I ain't got to drop none in my 50. I'm hoping I done weeded them all out because I think I have a really tight core group now, and I don't let nobody else in. I don't want no new friends, so I should be
No
straight
new
into my
friends. No
50s.
new friends.
So, anywho,
All right,
thanks, ladies.
let's go.
Great conversation. For
Yeah.
Yeah,
those
that
that
was
are
good.
yes, those that are listening that are new here, welcome. We hope that you enjoyed us and will listen to us every week. You can find us
Come
on
be
your
our
favorite
friend.
streaming platform. Yes, on YouTube. And you can like us on all social media platforms at Three Aunties and a Mic. The three is spelled out THREE. For those that are been rocking with us since day one, thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all keep bringing sending those letters in. We will get back to the letters next week. And until then, peace and love.
We love you, nieces and
Say bye, we
nephews.
said. Smooches.